Phoenix LaBeija, he will be opening up with a prayer today.
Right. Thank you. This is awesome. Okay, how y'all doing? Good, y'all look amazing. Thank you, Mr. DJ, for those awesome sounds. So if everyone could bow your head and pray to whomever you pray to, universe. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you on this beautiful Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon that you have blessed us with. We are here gathered for an amazing cause. This is the Free Your Mind Ball, and it's all about mental health. So we ask and thank you first and foremost for our health, our senses, that we may come to this panel discussion with open minds, open ears, that we may receive something that maybe we did not know. We want to learn something, we want to take something away, but dear Heavenly Father, as we learn and listen, we want you to remove any bias, any hatred for our fellow men, ones that we are knowledgeable of and the ones that we are unconscious about. Heavenly Father, we ask that you keep us safe in this beautiful place. We know that if we ask, you will come, and you are always welcome, because every place is your home and your house. So dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you. Thank you for your amazing grace. We ask that you continue to bless us, bless this function, bless the LaBeijas for seeing a need and fulfilling it in the community. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. In Jesus' name. And now I'm going to bring the beloved Taylor LaBeija.
Hey everybody! Hey. Thank you guys for coming today. We're so glad to have you guys. I just wanted to give a big shout out to our vendors that are in the building. If you guys haven't already, make sure to go check them out. And we just back the mic up a little bit. So I want to give a shout out to Desiree at Orade Franchon, Chanel and her mom at Soul Tree Meeting, and I also want to give a shout out to Jasmine at Belle Marie's Herbs and Shit. Yeah, so if you guys have not checked them out, make sure to go do that. They have some great things from body butters, scrubs, waist beads, all of that. And that's all I'm here to do. So now I would like to introduce our moderator for the evening, and that is Jonathan O'Rourke LaBeija.
And I'm going to introduce your awesome panel. I am so excited. Thank you. I just want to get off your feet real quick. Smooth the sound to screeching all the time. Screech. All right, y'all. I am so excited. This panel is going to be amazing. We are here to talk about mental health. The panelists, bar none, okay? They set the bar very, very high. Introducing first, my house father, Aaron Wayland. He's gonna come and introduce himself and talk a little bit about himself. So go ahead and drop that second beat for me one time. Clap this as they come through. Tell us about who you are one time.
Oh, wow. Hi, everyone. Oh, my God. I don't think I need this. Okay. Good evening. Thank y'all for being here. Family, friends, my name is Aaron Wayland. I am the California chapter father of the House of LaBeija. So excited about this first event. And I am the founder of a school for homeless foster and probation youth called Da Vinci Rise. And I'm a superintendent here in Los Angeles.
We are introducing Tank. Please make your way down. Amazing. Let's go ahead and clap for this individual.
Hi everyone, so my name is Tank, as you mentioned, I'm also known as Thomas Mackley. I'm an actor. I'm also the West Coast father of the iconic house of Miyake and Blair. I'm also a therapist here in LA. I work with Full Circle Partnership. I'm also affiliated with Chronic Pain, and I operate from there, so that's about it.
Okay, these people are kind of loaded on panel, okay? Introducing Calypso. Making her way down the aisle. Fabulous, beautiful,
Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Calypso Jate Balmain. I'm the West Coast of House of Balmain. I am an entertainer, an activist, a community navigator, and I'm excited to be here.
Introducing our next panelist, Helix Viper. Okay. All right. Introducing our next panelist. What was that? Absolutely. Tell us who you are.
Hey everyone. Okay. Hi, my name is Helix. Outside of the ballroom scene, in the ballroom scene, I go by Viper, or Viperess. I am currently a master's student at Antioch in Culver City. I am getting my degree in psychology with a specialization in LGBT affirmative therapy. I have an interest in addiction and recovery, as well as trauma-centered care. And then in ballroom, I like performance, which you might see tonight. I don't know.
Okay, doing it good, okay? All right, our next panelist, JJJ, please. Nice, warm welcome to Miss Jane, as she struts in all. Man, hey,
Hello, I'm Jay Harris. I am a licensed specialist, behavioral specialist, a BCBA for Manhattan Beach School District. Oh, what a joy.
Thank you. Definitely last but definitely not least, we are introducing the amazing Mr. Matthew Brinkley.
Put my back down. Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Brinkley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, doctor of psychology, and a dating coach here in Los Angeles. And I focus a lot on Black and queer mental health, making sure that folks that look like me are able to get the support they need, because oftentimes they don't. So I really appreciate everyone coming out, and I truly hope everyone gets to free their mind after this event.
Last minute, at a very last minute, I told them, I said, come dressed as if you're coming to a tea party. Did they serve the looks, okay? Give them one more round of applause, man. Drop that beat one more time, man. Drop that beat for the panelists, yes. Drop that same beat for the panelists. This is amazing. Okay, so we are going to drop that beat one more time for me, please. Okay, all right. All right, so the panel is stacked, okay? We have people from all over, looking all type of beautiful ways. And they are here to really give a lot of expertise and a little insight on mental health. It's really important that you guys know that you will have an opportunity to ask questions. And if a question arises, hold it to the end. You're going to have a moment for that, okay? Topic number one, are y'all ready? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you all the topic. The topic is navigating uncertainty and building resilience, okay? Especially in the LGBTQ community, we need that. I'm going to ask any panelist, I'm going to ask a specific panelist a question. If you feel like you want to say something, raise your hand politely, and we'll pass the mic to you, okay? Okay, so for those of you who focus on clinical therapy, how do you approach building resilience in LGBTQ individuals when they are faced with uncertainty around identity, acceptance, and or safety? Specifically, I'm asking this question to Dr. Brinkley. Okay? And then we can open it up to anyone else, and then we'll read other questions.
All right, such a great question. Interestingly enough, I actually worked with a client today that, due to the person that's in power right now, they're causing a lot of chaos. And then came to my office and said, hey, I identify as trans. I don't really know what to do right now. The world seems like it's ending. And the main thing I had to do was not sugarcoat it, but like, yeah, we do need to make sure that you find those resources. We need to make sure that you are building community. And so one of the main things that I thought was important for them to do in building resilience, first of all, is to be honest about how this is affecting you. Be honest that you're in pain. Be honest that you're suffering. A lot of queer folks, we don't even feel safe to be ourselves at times, so why would we come out to someone and let them know that we're in pain? So just honoring the pain and suffering that you're feeling. And then ultimately, it's about community. Who are the folks that share your identities, that do validate you, that do support you? Community in itself is one of the main things that impact our mental health. And so I always tell folks needing to figure out resilience and how to navigate the world is who can you lean on? Who can you be vulnerable with? And so really trusting your community, who you can lean on, and then ultimately being honest about the fact that you need support and reaching out for support. Anybody else? Resilience.
Hi. So as someone who has grown up without a lot of community and a lot of people to model, and I do engage with people who are coming into their identity in different ways. One of the things that I found is really effective is pointing to our past and our history. I direct people especially to cultural pasts, especially when they come from different Black and Indigenous and other cultures, because when we really look at original cultures before colonization, you will see that there is a lot of trans and queer representation, and they're often revered and looked up to for their understanding of the world. So that's really how I help people build their resilience, because that's how I built mine.
Thank you. For specialists who deal in trauma, what role does the experience of discrimination, microaggressions, or trauma play in shaping the ability to cope with ongoing societal uncertainties such as legal changes and shifts, especially in our current climate today? That question specifically I'm giving to you, Mr. Matthew. Mr. Tank Thomas. That one specifically for you.
Could you say it one more time?
Oh yes, I can say it one more time. Okay. For those specializing in trauma, what role does experience of discrimination, microaggressions, or trauma play in shaping and ways to cope with ongoing societal uncertainties, such as legal changes and shifts in social attitudes?
That's a very deep, complex question. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to answer this to the best of my ability. When it comes to law, I don't necessarily have a background in that, and I'm not sure if my client may. However, so at first I just want to start off building rapport with this individual to see what are some of the safe places that you have created within your circle.
So the question is, for those who specialize childhood trauma? What role does the experience of discrimination, microaggressions, or trauma play in shaping the ability to cope with ongoing societal uncertainties? Okay, we only have a little bit, that's all right.
Yeah, because however, so when it comes to understanding trauma, I think it's very important to understand that it's a very complex. So there's interpersonal trauma, there's personal trauma, and as you mentioned, societal as far as trauma that comes into play as well. And so when it comes to understanding the laws and how to navigate through these traumas,
That's what you said.
It's okay. It's all,
He did that.
Everyone is trying to too.
I'll follow up. I'll support you. The main thing that happens is you lose trust. You lose trust in your ability to trust the world around you. You isolate. You oftentimes don't know who to turn to because I've internalized the fact that I've been discriminated against. The world doesn't really take care of me. The world doesn't support me. So you oftentimes see increased mental health struggles for folks when they do experience trauma or discrimination. And it's really important for us to make sure that, once again, community and finding folks that support you and love you are the ways to counteract that. We need to make sure that we are, once again, being honest with if we are impacted by our traumas, because especially for Black, queer, folks of color, queer and trans folks, once again, mental health is not something that we are taught. We have to learn that in our adult lives for the most part. So it has a deep impact in us, which is why we have to do so much work in order to respond to that.
I would add to what Dr. Brinkley said. I think we're in a moment in which trust is being tested. When you have an administration that is now telling people that immigration enforcement can come inside of schools and churches and community service organizations, it takes a level of bravery for leaders to say what they're not about to do is come in here, right? What we're not about to do is make this space a place where kids can have panic attacks all day because they're not sure if they're going to be taken away from their families. And so for us, it's a lot of communicating. It can't be silent allyship. There's no such thing. So if you haven't told somebody that lives on the other side of that line that you love them and that you will stand in front of them, in front of that person, that law enforcement, that force, then that is not allyship. That's just making you feel good about going to sleep at night. So I think for all of our leaders, for all of our parents, for all of our guardians, it's about speaking that love into the young people who are fearful right now, speaking that love into the older people who may not understand fully, and being there to research and understand what their rights are alongside them. Thank you.
This question is for, next question. For those of you working with family dynamics, how do you navigate the tension between an individual's identity and the uncertainty that can arise from societal changes in the form of a new presidency or lack of understanding in today's climate? This question really is for Jay.
That's a good one. So for me, I did with youth. And with my students, it's a little hard and challenging because generations, okay? When it comes to generations, we change in what is accepted, what's not accepted, what is not appropriate. Most of my kids, I allow to be free, regardless of how they act or what it is to other kids. I think that sometimes I try not to have my youth be so attached to the outside world when it comes to the presidency. I don't think that's for them. They need to come to school to learn. And your identity comes with learning yourself as you're at school too. I don't think that that's just, you know, I'm coming to first grade, I'm that. No, you're learning yourself, how you learn, who your friends are, you know, what I like to be around, what teacher I like, what teacher makes me comfortable. That I'm learning is a big deal. When I first came on campus, it was very hard for me being a young Black woman in a very not so much Black accepting world. Manhattan Beach is a very broad brand, and I learned that my kids aren't aware of themselves, and they say things that are just blasphemous sometimes, where I feel bad for them because I don't think they realize what they're saying. And they get it from watching TV, they get it from their siblings, they get it from their parents, their aunties, their uncles. It's just a generation gap where I feel like sometimes our awareness for youth, it's unfortunately we see what Trump is doing. I don't want to say it like that, but attacking the youth is easy. You know what I mean? They have no game to say yes or no, and that's the problem.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next question. In your work with community-based initiatives or group therapy, what strategies do you find most effective in fostering collective resilience within LGBTQ spaces, particularly in times of societal pushback or political uncertainty? Viper Calypso, I know you can answer the question.
Okay, well, I also want to piggyback off of what she said. I'm gonna fuse both of them together. So, me being a member navigator, it's always about supporting my community, but in my personal life, I support 11 kids who stay with me personally. And just having each of them come from different walks of life is just giving them that support and making sure that they're okay, that they see my experiences, what I go through, so they don't have to go through the same things. And then, even if they have to go out there and learn from those things that I may have went through, is being there to be supportive, not being to judge them, and making sure that they're okay. And I deal with a lot of kids on a daily basis that have a lot of trauma, that have been ostracized and put out their houses, and they come to me and they be like, you know, you're very motherly, you're very supporting and everything, but at the same time I have to be honest with them and let them know that me as an individual, I'm also still growing and learning and having to navigate my life through everything that's happening in this political climate. So support, really support is a big thing, but one thing that I noticed that there's a lack of, especially with the TGI community that I get a lot of, is not having access to mental health therapies.
Can you, for the crowd, for those who don't know, what is TGI?
TGI is gender nonconforming, non-binary, intersex, like they all fall under the trans umbrella. So a person can be gender nonconforming, non-binary, a person can be intersex, or a person can be trans. And that could be trans femme. So when I'm dealing with individuals who are part of the TGI community, a lot of times the only resources we're given is like, we're offered incentives for like housing, maybe employment, testing, but it's never like getting mental health services. And that was the first thing. When I first started my transition, I was offered therapy. Now when people are offered their transition, they're not asked to do any therapy no more. And that's been a big thing because most people are starting to transition and they go through their transition, they feel, maybe this wasn't like what I wanted to do, and then I turn back, and not going back is a bigger mental health problem that people are not ready to deal with because they don't understand TGI individuals.
In your community-based initiatives or group therapy, what strategies do you find most effective in fostering collective resilience within LGBTQ spaces, particularly in times of societal pushback or political uncertainty? Yeah, 1 minute.
So, one of the projects that I spearheaded on my own was called the Black Trans Queer Collective. It was a branch off of Black Lives Matter. So one of the projects that I spearheaded was called the Black Trans Queer Collective, which was a branch off of the Black Lives Matter movement back in 2020, 2021. And really just coming together as a community and letting ourselves be ourselves, whatever that looked like for that day, really helped us build resilience and comfort within our identities. In the group itself, I was actually able to witness a few people begin their transition and really fully feel themselves and find other Black people. And this was a national meeting. We got to a point where we had someone from Kenya who was zooming into the calls with us. But really just having people to mirror our experience and just talk about what we're going through. We would facilitate different topics. Just having people to talk to that make you feel like it's okay for you to be yourself is really important.
Thank you.
Yeah, really quickly, I just wanted to add on that. You both touched on it, but one of the things in group therapy that helps really folks be vulnerable is self-disclosure, being honest about how how I'm being impacted by it, being honest about how, hey, I'm struggling too in this with you together, because when you're vulnerable with the group around you, it inspires them to be vulnerable as well. And to your point, Calypso, one thing that I know in my organization that we do is when we do have folks that are wanting, to transition or get support letters, they actually have to get mental health services first, which I do think is so important to connect folks with that service so that they can have a space to express and process, because they may not have never had that space. And so I agree with you 100% that it's so important to link mental health services and folks that are, wanting to transition, because I think those two things go hand in hand for sure. So thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Right there.
So this question is for all of you, and we'll start this way. Actually, we'll start back that way because we haven't heard from them. Okay, real quick, you got 10 seconds max, 15 seconds. Okay. All right. So okay. As professionals who are likely deeply engaged in advocating for LGBTQ mental health, how do you personally navigate uncertainty in your own work, whether it's resilience or dealing with burnout and maintaining resilience, and challenging combating burnout?
I think that was a really important question. Because one thing we forget as clinicians and people in mental health is that because we in this field, we have a passion and love for serving others in a way. And so we put a lot of people before ourselves, and sometimes we don't recognize that we need that ourselves. And so sometimes we tend to forget the techniques that we taught our educator, our psychoeducator, our clients with. And so when I'm experiencing some of the burnout that I'm recognizing, I tend to pull from my toolbox. And when I call my toolbox, it's something that I know that helped me along the way. Something that I always use since I was maybe 10 or 11. That's still in my toolbox. Because some of those things will still allow you to get over some of the challenges you may be experiencing today. And so I've always made sure to keep up on my toolbox and the things that I stored to help me overcome a breakup, overcome a loss of a friend, leaving a particular school. Anything.
Thank you.
Yes.
Jay?
That's great. For me, I don't know. I think I just live for me. I don't even think about how I step out and what I look like to others. I know that my students just see Miss J. They have no idea Miss J is super queer. They don't know. They just see Miss J. I don't wear it on my face. I wear myself. I hold in so much because I think I'm a big time fixer, and me making sure everyone else is okay. Like you said, I have to pull from my toolbox. It's hard for us because we get burnt out faster than anybody else does. Having to fix my staff, parents, and then students, it literally goes like that. So for me, I'm thankful for my family. I will say that. I'm blessed to have 3 moms and 1 dad. I know that sounds a little different, but I do have 3 mothers and I have 1 dad. And then when I say each of them know how to, what's the best word? Love on me, and it's needed. And I really am blessed to have the dynamic of family, because some people don't have that, like we were talking, so kudos, family, thank you.
Thank you. For the rest of the 4 panelists, you got 30 seconds. Max. Yeah, I said 10 seconds. I was
talking fast.
It's all right.
All right, I'm gonna listen to your instructions. On that note, thank you for talking about burnout, because as a therapist, I be burnt the fuck out. Listen, no shame, okay? And the people closest to me know that, because I know that I need to lean on them when I'm taking on so much trauma and I'm taking on so much of other people's pain. I need to release that myself. So whether it's dancing, whether it's going out, doing the things that truly bring me joy. It's about finding my own joy, because unfortunately I am sitting in a room with people who have lost their joy. And sometimes you take that home with you. And so vicarious trauma is real, and vicarious trauma is when someone tells you about their own trauma, you like take pictures of that with you. And so I need to turn to my good Judies, my folks who really care about me, and just truly enjoy and have so much fun to counteract the stress that sometimes you do take home. So yeah, burnout is real, okay?
Thank you. All right, 30 seconds. Burnout is real.
I'll keep this real quick and real simple. 3 things: boundaries, and making sure that I stick to them no matter who's pushing. Art and expression. I love to dance. I'm getting into sewing. I love doing makeup. So things that I can express myself through. And then lastly, healing my inner child, like recognizing the trauma that I've been through and reminding myself of the playfulness that life can be. That's what I do to stay resilient and to go through what I need to do.
Thank you. 30 seconds exactly. You're making it in. Here you go. And you're 30 seconds. You start. I start. Okay.
Okay, honestly, what I do is I just keep going every day because I have so many people that depend on me, so I have to make sure that they don't see me slacking because I don't want them to ever think that I'm failing them, because once I give them that sense of fail, then they feel like, fuck, if Calypso, I'm like the strongest person they see in their life. So I always just make sure every day I just smile, keep going. It's hard some days, but I make it work. I make it work. You would never know I'm going through anything because I never let you see it.
That's right. 30 seconds.
Am I good? Okay.
Right.
I would say the key is when you are Goliath, like the folks on this stage, you have to find your board of trustees. Fans are great. Clients are wonderful. It's wonderful to help people. It's wonderful to have people want to look up to you. But who are those Goliaths that you can look to and be like, yo, like I don't know what to do with this client. I don't know what to do. I'm exhausted. I get home, right? And so who can you look eye to eye with and say, do you understand the struggle that I'm going through? Do you understand the push and the pressure? And how can I release and exhale with you? I think the other piece is always getting closer to who you were as a little kid. Every single day. What are the holdups in the blocks that you built up, and how do you get those down so you can have joy in your life and laugh and stop putting up that front and be a real person? That heals you way quicker than a vacation to the Bahamas everywhere.
Yes. That is, thank you so much. Burnout is real. And please take care of what I do when I'm a little anxious or burnt out almost, I take time off. I take all the time off that I need. I'm using everything that don't call me, don't text me, I'm off, leave me alone. I'm stressed. Leave me alone. My phone is on do not disturb. Okay, I won't answer your call. Boundaries. Okay? That was 10 seconds, maybe 15. Okay. So, I want to hear from the crowd, okay? I want to hear from the crowd. One thing that y'all do, anybody can raise your hand. The first person to raise their hand, if y'all see it, okay, y'all call them out, okay? The first person, I'm going to pick 2 people. You! Come on to the stage and tell us who you are. Clap for this gentleman.
So what's the question?
The question is the same thing. What do you do when you're experiencing burnout?
It's really a ditto answer to Dr. Matthew Brinkley. That's my best friend. We literally have to always have a lot of fun. I was so thankful when I walked in here because I'm burnt out. I just came back from Palm Springs. To and from, I had to drop 3 drag queens off and bring them all back. I kicked them out of the car and I said, I gotta go support my best friend in this wonderful panel. And to look up here and see people like Piper, see people like Calypso, see people like you. Like we hang out, like we have fun together. And that's important for us to really keep us because we are the lives in this community. So just, I'm getting teary-eyed because it's just, thank you all so much because y'all hold me up.
Thank you. This is my nephew. Stay right here. Stay right here. We be playing spades. We be coming up on every other Thursday, something like that. I'll be playing spades. This is the most fun that I found through this individual right here. Okay, so I'm so happy that you are around. Trust me, it makes a difference. One more person. Share your experience in terms of what you do. Yes, please come. Oh, yes. Walk. Which mic if you want to use, please?
Hi everyone. I just have a tool that just me. Like Calypso was saying, like we can be responsible for a lot of people, especially if you are the stronger friend. I just think that instead of putting my woes and the things that I'm naturally gonna go through, I really do utilize, like you said, the toolbox that I have. Therapy is A1 to me. So no matter what I'm going through, my parents are still going through things. My best friends are going through things, and as much as I think that they would support me in anything they're going through, that's really not their responsibility. So I think that it's also important to remind yourself that you're responsible for your feelings and your situation. And there are people that it's their responsibility to work through that with you. You can't always put that on people around you.
Thank you. Thank you guys both. On Jackie, what was your name again, sister? What was your name? So thank you guys for just sharing. You guys actually won $25. Yeah, you got to raise your hand. too late. You can't raise your hand now. It's too late. So come see me after the panel, okay? It's too late. When the teacher asks who know the answer, you know, that was easy. What did you do? Smoke a blunt, drink a drink. What do you do to relax? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, next question. Next question. Okay. Topic number 2. Body positivity and its authentic practice in the community. Okay? First question. For those of you working in advocacy or public health, what changes do you think are necessary on a systematic level to ensure that the body positivity is accessible and inclusive of all individuals, regardless of gender, sexuality, or background? And again, you have a minute. A minute. We got to end on time. Got to be timely now. All right, this question is for Calypso and or Viper, or anyone who feels they have something strong to say.
Oh, wait, can you repeat the question?
Yes, I can.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. For those working in advocacy or public health, what changes do you think are necessary on a systematic level to ensure that body positivity is accessible and inclusive of all individuals, regardless of gender, sexuality, or background? You can answer one or all of the question, but you have a minute. All right.
I truly believe there would need to be a significant cultural shift, especially a big change in the beauty industry. Like, I feel like that's where a lot of people's insecurities come from. And with the shift in what we perceive as beautiful, people will be able to shift the way that they take care of themselves. Because when you love yourself, the way that you look, however you are, you eat different. You're more likely to exercise. Your energy is just different. You radiate. But because the beauty industry and the society wants us to work ourselves essentially to death, we don't give ourselves time to do that. The society doesn't want us to experience intimacy and love. It doesn't give us any time to breathe. So that's really one of the things that I feel like would really change.
Thank you. You have something down there? Okay, go ahead.
I think it was something that you touched on about, just culture. There's a lot of mixed cultures here in our country, as we're aware of. And so, when working with individuals that are experiencing that, I think it's very important to really connect them to their identity and their community, and getting understanding of their culture and where they're from, because that's where the empowerment can come from. And that's when the change can come from. And I think some programs that could be introduced into some of the agencies that we have here, but also some full service partnerships and public work, is how to connect them to their resources of their culture, providing particular education on those topics, because a lot of us lose ourselves trying to align with things that doesn't truly connect to us, so it's difficult finding ourselves. And really understanding your cultural beauty, we look different ways. And I think really pouring in and really strengthening those parts is needed in these spaces.
Thank you.
For me personally, I would have to say visibility. And just when I go to like different organizations or commercials or TV shows, seeing people that look like me is very important. And I think that when it comes to body positivity, like for the longest, when I have seen trans women, it's always been like they have like the big hips and ass and everything. So that was my goal, to go get a big hip and ass and everything. But then I started to be more comfortable with myself and how I look and looking at myself in the mirror. So I think just having more visibility and people who look like the people, so then they will be comfortable to come to those spaces or engage or just be comfortable with themselves.
Yes, beautifully said, thank you. Yes, y'all can clap. We got time today, okay? Yes, next question. Let's go back one time. Okay, so for how can body positivity be encouraged within the LGBT spaces, particularly given the varied experiences of gender and sexuality within the community in the education setting? This question is for Aaron or Ms. Jerry.
I think healthy confidence is really contagious. And I think we have this interesting stigma in our world of modesty, right? You have to be modest. You don't stand up too tall. Don't be too proud. And I think if we think about the little person in our heart, like who we were as a kid, seeing that person that looks anything like us, and like you doesn't necessarily need to be racial identity. It could be, oh, they look like they're about my height, or they look like my dad, or they look like this, this part of me, or they have their nails painted and I want to have my nails painted, right? And I think walking in your truth and being confident is a thing that bleeds into other people that might have things that they want to also do that you're doing. And so I think just putting your head up high and showing that and having conversations and being approachable can change an entire community if you do it with pride and you do it with a good backing behind you.
Yes, of course. How can body positivity be encouraged within LGBTQIA spaces, particularly given the varied experiences of gender and sexuality within the community in the education setting?
Once again, I think I go back to what I was saying before about allowing my students to be who they are. And Ms. J comes in very open. I don't actually dress at work, so I wear a lot of sweats because I get burnt out and I have to run around. And they think it's the best thing ever because Ms. J has on Jordans. You understand? So they don't. It's in a space for education, like Aaron said. If you're giving your students comfort, stability, understanding, and respect, they're gonna, like Aaron said, it's gonna be like organic, you know what I mean? Now all my students literally come up to me like, Ms. J, you see my Jordans? I mean, but I love it, you know what I mean? Because it's something that it stemmed me and they do it themselves. And it's just a thing that we have, and I don't think it's the thing where everybody has to feel I have to look a certain way to be connected with this student or this person or this person. I allow everyone to feel we're all the same race. We're all one, and we're gonna make it fun regardless.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This question is either for Dr. Tank or a therapist, I'm sorry, Dr. Tank, Dr. Brinkley or therapist Tank, okay? What are the most common body images, what are some of the most common body image struggles you encounter among your clients, your LGBTQIA clients?
Great question. I think the main thing I hear is that oftentimes my queer clients will come in and say, hey, there's this body standard in the gay community, I feel like I don't fit that, therefore I'm undesirable, therefore nobody wants me. And I think my first thing I say is, well, you don't have to ascribe to that myth, and that myth is bullshit, right? Because every single person in their body, what they look like, deserves love, and every single person, regardless of what you've been taught, deserves love as well. And so, something even you touched on is, oftentimes my clients, they'll tell me 30 things they hate about themselves, but the minute I ask them, tell me your strengths, what do you like? They're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable saying my strengths. Well, you're so comfortable saying all these negative things, we need to shift that perspective. We need to encourage folks to, really, really talk great about themselves. And so oftentimes in my spaces, folks are like, I don't meet the body standards. Well, the standard's bullshit, and you deserve love regardless of whatever standard you thought existed. So that's what I often am talking to with my clients about.
Thank you. Right on time. I appreciate that. Did you have something?
Oh, I think it was Bo, but you know we.
Go ahead. No, actually.
I just touched back on it again. It's I'm so sorry. It's really reconnected to them because honestly, when I work with particular clients who have those particular struggles, it's really trying to figure out what is it about that person that you're trying to gain and really reconnecting them to their own identity. A lot of it lies in strengthening their identity because trying to see where actually they lost that path of losing themselves because they're finding it in others. And so it's all strength building when it comes to working with clients on those particular challenges.
Nice. Thank you. Okay. Next topic. This is dealing with the ballroom community. Almost everybody on the panel is in ballroom. You just fashionably fly all the time, okay? She just always fly, best dressed, okay? So this is specifically about the ballroom community, okay? Because it's very important that we actually address what is going on in the ballroom community. This is open for anyone. We absolutely have 3 people available to talk, okay? So if you have something pressing, say that, okay? How do you help LGBTQ individuals or ballroom performers who may be dealing with rejection or estrangement from their families? How can therapists help clients address the trauma of family rejection while helping them cultivate new supportive communities? So I'll say the first portion again. How do you help LGBTQ individuals or ballroom performers who may be dealing with rejection or estrangement from their families? We'll start there.
Okay. And let's see. Well, we know coming into ballroom and you're experiencing this, the one thing I recognize is that this is a chosen family. And so within that chosen family, you are choosing the things that align with you. And that automatically puts you in a space of feeling good, feeling better about yourself because you're aligning with the individuals that you are choosing to be around. It almost comes to like trauma. Trauma came and we had no control over that. You know, the family that we were born into, we had no control over that. So we come into the spaces that we now have control. So we grab control and we choose the individual that we be around. And that is something that is starting to light us back into these spaces that once was them. I mean, when we get to the floor, it's a way of releasing the resistance to the things in the world that we had to, you know, to fight with in a sense. And so when we step in ballrooms, is this a way of releasing? And that was one of the. Okay, I'm doing it. Okay, and I think
Time. Okay. Going out too, so we're just gonna pass on to the next person.
I'm gonna just quickly say that one thing that's really important to do is to remind folks that if you come out to your family and they reject you, it's never your position to shift who you are. It's their job to shift who they are, to understand who you are. And so I just remind folks that it's never your fault, and it's on them to make sure that they learn how to love you. You don't have to change who you are to love them.
Nice.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, reminding people that it is not our responsibility to make the people around us comfortable. The people that love us and care about us truly and honestly will accept us for who we are, or will say something. Like, that's what I really feel. That's what I've learned being in ballrooms. The people that want to see me succeed will adjust to me being in their presence. It's not my responsibility to make them comfortable. It's their responsibility to adjust and tell me, hey, I don't like this. And when they say that, it's my responsibility then to either adjust or explain why I did that.
Thank you. Last question, okay? Because it's hard. Ballroom ain't easy, okay? I'm the first to say ballroom is not easy. It ain't easy. So when, as new people and new recruits come into ballroom, right? And this could be anything. You could be going into a new place of work. You could be anything, right? How do you personally maintain your poise and handle negativity within the ballroom scene, whether it's after facing shade, a win, or being constantly chopped? And how would you encourage others to navigate these challenging changes? These challenges while performing. 30 seconds.
I'll try to keep it quick.
All right.
So again, I go back to boundaries. If I notice someone's energy is off, like I'm an energy reader, I just make sure I establish boundaries. I love the block button on Facebook. I love to see someone for 30 days and see if they've changed a little bit. So that's what I do to make sure that new energy that doesn't sit well with me stays away from me, because I have people involved that do love me. When I get a shitty chop, I get mad about it. I bend to my duties. I get over it. I come back stronger.
Thank you.
I think honestly, when it comes to new recruits, I'm honest with them that this is a competition space amongst people who are in sometimes hurt positions or in survival mode, and this is something that many of them are going to take accordingly upon themselves to make you feel the type of way where at the end of the day, you're Cinderella, you go to the ball, when the ball's over, you're back to Cinderella back at her house. And so I think being honest with people, because I don't think when new people come in the ballroom, people tell them that this is competition. They just base it off of this is family. And they have to be honest to let them know, like, no, you're in a competitive space. The family aspect happens off the floor.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Father?
I would say this in anything in your life, whether it's the floor or the boardroom or anything. Only put on the floor what you're confident in. Don't put that deep, dark, secret thing that you're struggling with, right? If you have deep levels of trauma from masculinity, don't walk realness. It's because it is an act, right? You are there to perform, and so if you have deep levels of insecurity about your body or your face, don't walk face and body. At least in the beginning. That's what I would say to any new recruit. Watch and get into the world of it. Create a space for yourself to feel safe, because judges are ruthless, audience is ruthless, and so you want to build that confidence. And then I would say, if you overcome that fear or overcome that, then yeah, you deserve every second of the floor. But it's a very dangerous place anywhere on any stage to put your deepest, darkest insecurity up for chopping. It's not a healthy balance, and I've seen people do it and walk out of ballroom from the second they got in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, so we're gonna open it up to, if there's nothing else, we're gonna open it up to the audience. We have 2 questions, or 3. Does anybody have any pressing questions that they would like to ask any member of our panel at this very moment? This is a very stacked panel, y'all. We have a lot of, do I see a hand? Do I see it? Right in the back? Okay, I got you. Go ahead. Tell us your name and who is your question for?
Hi, I'm Cameron. My question is, what inspires you? What motivates you? What keeps you going?
Who is this for?
Everybody.
Everybody in the club. All right. You got 10 seconds.
It's my why. I've always had this thing called my why, and that's me just being my better self. My favorite quote is that things are always working out for me. And so, since I know that, that keeps me in spaces that when I recognize things are unhealthy or uncomfortable, I know that it's working out for me in whichever way it will. So that's how I stay focused and just focus on my why. Why I get up.
Everybody? Just creative. I'm also a hairstylist too, so being the most creative self for me is like the best. Kind of Kama Sutra, creating for other people.
I would say my why is I want to give back to my family because they've supported me at my lowest at times and at times where I didn't know what to do. They're getting older in age, and I know that I'm getting older in age as well, and so I know that there's going to be a point in time where I need to step in and really support them. So my why is making sure I have all my shit together so that I can, support them and I can be supported.
Thank you. 10 seconds.
I would say my ancestors, my elders, my peers, and the youth, because we are all a part of the legacy. We want to continue.
Thank you.
I would say my community because I just like making people happy, and when they're happy, I'm happy.
I would say my son inspires me. Seeing the proof of practice that what can happen when you love somebody, when you allow them to love you, and what can happen in a community, that there's nothing else like that.
Absolutely. For myself, I be with the music, okay? The music keep me going. The music gonna keep us going all night, okay? The music keep us. DJ, where that music at? The music gonna keep us going all night. The music always keeps me going, so that's one thing that keeps me going. We have time for, we actually have no more time, we got time. Who's on the mic next? We got time for one more question? You got a question? Okay, come on. Real quick, we got 10 seconds to ask a question.
My name is Ziggy. My question would be, how would you give advice on grieving?
How would you give advice on grieving? Yeah, I want you to pick one person on the panel.
I was you, because you got a son.
Awesome.
You said grieving. I think a lot of things when it comes to healing are us fighting ourselves because we are tired of being tired. And so I would say for me in the moments in which I've had to grieve, whether it be relationship or a human being in life, is having grace with the waves. Because a lot of the times we want it to be this linear motion, and it ends up being you're back at stage one in the middle of it, and you start making progression. And I think a lot of that is having grace with yourself and knowing that you are healing from something you've never healed through before, and allowing you to create a group of people that can support you.
Thank you. Any last questions? Going once, going twice? And one last question, okay? And then we're gonna close the panel. Real brief.
So my question is, what category would you guys walk in a ball if you had to, and why?
I will give you that category. I'll answer that question. If I was walking in the ball, personally speaking, I'd probably walk sex shopping. Why? Because I work out. Because working out is not only for myself, it's for my mind. Okay? And it feels good. I like to keep my clothes off. Okay? So I want, DJ, can I get a track? And after this, we're gonna take a 15-minute break. DJ, I need something. DJ, I need something sexy, okay? I need something sexy, DJ. I need something sexy. Just she said what category we're gonna walk in. I said sex siren. DJ! Turn it up, okay? We're gonna turn it up in here. And we're gonna take a 15-minute intermission, okay? DJ is slacking. You got me fouled